Today, we will be reviewing the Alins Crown Expert Advisor by Ms. Herlina Sari. Stick around to the end to receive a free expert advisor from us at Prosperity Algo Solutions. So we can start off here on the sales page just to get an idea of how this EA would work. We can see that it clearly is a gold trading expert advisor. And in terms of strategy, this line here is quite indicative, saying that it combines market trends with overbought, oversold zones. So this would likely indicate some degree of mean reversion system, as like we all know, the RSI or the stochastic goes into the overbought or oversold region, and they're likely combining it with a trend filter too, which is definitely a well-known and sometimes very viable system as well. And they're also saying that they do not use any risky, dangerous strategies, and that drawdowns are low, and that it's a simple, effective trading system. The reason why this one really caught my attention is because it's one of the few EAs which has a very statistically significant amount of trades with not a ton of red flags happening. So we can see here that in both September and October, we had very good returns of 27% and 29% respectively, and November is even positive to date. And we can also see that equity and balance are relatively hugging each other, which doesn't appear to be a grid martingale system. But what's really interesting is that we have, I think, 240 different trades here, which is very, very unique in terms of the MT5 marketplace. Yeah, 240 trades, as we don't see that very often. And if we look at the statistics here too, we can see that they have a very high win rate with 89%, and the risk-reward ratio is also not that terrible either. Because if we look at the average profit, it's $2, and the average loss is $4. So this is roughly a 1 to 2 reward-risk ratio, and that combined with a 90% win rate is really good. So what we're seeing here is actually, at least over the current sample size of 240 trades, which is quite significant, we're seeing a very good risk-reward ratio. So I'm actually very, very curious to see how the system works, because the live statistics on a real account are proving to be very, very good. So that's why I'm curious to actually run a quick back test. And what I did already, and this has taken a few tries, is I went to the MT5 marketplace here in the terminal, and I downloaded Alins Crown, and I've actually started running a couple back tests already, just because it's seeming to be extremely, extremely slow. And here's an example of the second back test I ran from August of this year to today, and I've already run something very similar in the past. But what I can see here is that it looks almost like the back test and the live signal are not the same. Like any sort of equity curve that looks like this would generally be indicative of some sort of manipulated back test, because like realistically it's pretty much never taking a loss. This is a good example of a fairly manipulated back test. However, the live signal is proving to be an extremely good trading system. So when this runs for a bit, let's maybe go look at the Inputs tab just to get a better idea of how this expert advisor works. And what we can see is that it is trading gold with a trailing stop loss, and here it's roughly a 2 to 1 risk-reward ratio. And you're able to use either automatic lot sizing or a fixed lot sizing. But really, it's not giving us a ton of detail in regards to how it's running. So I think we know that if we let this complete, it might take 20 minutes or so, it's going to still be a perfect smooth back test. So in the interest of time, I won't run the full one here. However, I invite all of you guys to do it yourselves and let me know. But what I think I'd much rather do is run more of a visual back test to get an idea of how the system actually works. Because From what I can see so far, is this appears to be a real system when run live. However, the backtest appears to simply not be indicative. So let me run a quick visual backtest to see if maybe we can glean a bit more information from it. Okay, the visual backtest has now loaded, and I will quickly go zoom out a bit so we can see what is happening here. And if we run it on an M5, it does indeed appear to be running a degree of a mean reversion system, where when price pushes down, it essentially rides the reversion back to a key level, but can't see a ton of detail yet. So let me keep fast forwarding it. That's interesting too, because now here, as price were to go back to the normal level, it was going long. Then up here, it found almost like the perfect turning point before going short. Yeah, interesting. Now, there was a grid which occurred here, and they do seem to be taking a grid-based approach too. Okay, let me zoom in a bit. It's not even necessarily a grid because it's such a small quantity of pips between the trades. Or if they're just spreading it out over a certain level. No, but it's not a grid. So yes, like as said in the description, there is a degree of mean reversion happening. Sometimes there's grids, sometimes there's no grids, but the actual the back test appears almost perfect, which is quite interesting. And also, like in a typical grid martingale system, you would look to see pretty significant detachments of equity from balance, and we're simply not seeing that here. So my conclusion is that it does appear to be running some degree of mean reversion based system, but the fact that it's almost perfectly switching between longs and shorts as the market turns, in my mind shows that the backtest has been manipulated. That being said, the live signal looks exceptionally strong. So there is a bit of a divergence here. So what maybe I would suggest as kind of my takeaway from this review is the backtest and the visual backtest are just not indicative of what's actually happening. However, the live signal looks quite strong. So I would encourage anybody looking to buy this to maybe reach out to the developer to maybe inquire about the accuracy of the backtest or if they can send some more information, because this could very well be a legitimate mean reversion system, but it's just tough to ascertain that from the backtest. And how long it's taking to also run a backtest is usually not a great sign, as that might very well be a history reader. However, the live signal is great. So this isn't a particularly conclusive video today, but I would suggest keep monitoring the live signals, reach out to the developer, and yes, let's see how this bot continues to trade over the coming months. So stick around for the following short clip to receive a free expert advisor from us, and take care and have yourselves a great day. Before you click away, if you're looking to get a real expert advisor, here at Prosperity Algo Solutions, we're currently offering our golden time bomb system based on automating the London breakout and opening range breakout 100% for free. Watch the pinned video to find out more and to get access.